Hello, guys. We've got Stephanie calling in, and we are going to talk about alligators, ATVs, and arborists tonight on the Love at First Flight After Show.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Half of my heart was in Havana, ooh, na, na.
If only they go to Havana.
You guys,
That'd be amazing.
Yeah, they should.
the reason why you picked this song is because they travel and maybe they'll go to Havana and get married. Who knows? But this is the Love at First Flight After Show here at AfterBuzz TV. I am your host, Lauren, and we have with me here.
I am Jen.
And I'm Stacey Olivas.
And on the ones and twos, we've got
Zack Peter.
you guys. We have Stephanie calling in tonight of Stephanie and Michael. We're real excited because I might just give a spoiler alert. She and he are my favorite couple.
So cute this week.
So cute this week. I really feel like we saw them blossom.
Yeah, I wonder if she's gonna bring the broomstick with her.
No, I think it's gone.
Those are some fighting words.
Shade, shade, shade.
Shade. I feel though like we're seeing them blossom in the way that we said, like maybe the show unfolds in certain ways because like they're planning certain dates for certain people because they know these people are going to be a slow burn.
Yeah.
And they really got to get to know each other and doing the weird sausage things and the other things. And
There is a psychology and a plan behind this all, but we are watching it unfold and we like what we're seeing so far because it's super good.
Speaking of psychology though.
What?
I was looking into Dr. Erin Foster.
Oh,
Because I wanted to find, or maybe not Dr. Erin Foster, but
Aaron
matchmaker.
Foster.
But if she were a doctor,
she is. Guys,
she is?
I said the reveal too quickly. But anyway, the point is, not a matchmaker, in fact, a psychologist. So I think maybe that might be the reveal at the end of the show, potentially, or not at all. But a psychologist potentially did like these tests to find out if
well,
they're
they do a
compatible.
lot of like, this is my worst fear.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, and you're
Like, why
like,
would a matchmaker ask that?
push
They're
them
like,
out of their
what
comfort
height do you
zone.
like? What religion?
let's talk about vulnerability. And this week's episode is focused around communication. And they all coincidentally talk about that in their little like side note stories. What are they called? Confessionals, if you will.
Yeah. And some of
If
the
you-
challenges were surrounding it too.
Oh,
Yeah.
for sure. This
Yeah.
is like the focus. So we tonight on our Love at First Flight after show here at AfterBuzz TV are going to talk about episode 4. We're going to break it down and we are going to chat about, of course, all of the different couples and their challenges, and we're gonna vote for our cutest couple and who had the biggest disaster date and like who we would date again because it changes every single time, potentially, maybe not.
Just like real
and
life.
how I am not going to have to take multiple shots of tequila because Kail and Jenna do not like each other. Sorry, I had to almost drop an F-bomb because
I don't know how that's going to even turn
just-
into 180 or
it's-
anything.
I have a
Bad.
question though, timeline wise. We'll get into them, but apparently in this episode we're like midway through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if that's the case, and we're only on what, episode 4?
halfway point.
How many more episodes could there possibly be?
I mean,
4,
I guess there's
5.
4. I mean, he's like, I did the math, and that's 4 more
plus
episodes.
4 equals 8.
Well, so maybe it's an
Halfway.
8-episode season. I don't know, but yeah, maybe like time-wise, we're seeing a little less than what's actually happening, is what you're saying.
No, I was just curious where this would go from here because
don't
if
know.
we're halfway through, it's obviously not 9 more episodes.
No, I don't know.
Yeah.
Unless we see like toward the end of it, like what happens after
Wait,
3
why are
months
you
later.
saying 9 more
Exactly.
episodes? So it's like a 13-episode
Well,
arc?
because don't seasons usually have
sometimes a
More than
reality
9.
TV.
Well, a new
No.
show like this
Yeah.
normally have like very short seasons,
Yeah.
Really.
like 8 or 9.
They've got to test their waters, and if they can prove themselves, then we get picked up for season 2, and maybe it's a 13-episode
It can't
arc.
be that long. Like this was a big budget to be flying everybody all over the country.
Oh,
Good
yeah.
point.
Good
thinking
point.
about the
Yeah,
logistics
all the
there, Zach.
logistics.
I mean,
Look at you,
come
you're like a
on.
producer.
I'm
You're a
right.
line producer.
There are some brains under these blonde locks.
We are in Hollywood over here, and so we know the lingo and the background stories, and we're delivering it to you live from AfterBuzz
Fresh.
TV. You're welcome.
From Burbank.
From Burbank. So first we are going to talk about, so it's all about communication. They've all have to communicate, and they all coincidentally talk about it. Great communication. So we're going to start with Mike and Alma. They have a scavenger hunt on ATVs. This is their challenge. And we are let into the fact that they have had like some chemistry and they've gone like past the friend zone and then back again. So they obviously did sex or probably something close to that.
In the cave.
But do you
With
do
the bat.
sex
Just
and then
the-
go back to nothing? Maybe
No,
they
but-
made out.
I feel like they did sex or things that were close to it, or maybe just the tip.
I do sex all the time and then like nothing.
Yeah, right? It's
Like
I
that's
guess.
it. Check that off the list
But
and
I
move
feel
on
like
to the next
Alma's
one.
not going to do that. She's got
No.
so many like rules
Yeah,
and
no,
stuff.
Alma
she
is
seems a little uptight.
You're right, but Alma is also like fiery and probably
Yeah.
like slammed the door and like whipped her hair out of the ponytail and was like, "We're doing this right now." And obviously he's like, "Okay." And then they did sex or something like that or close to it. And then all the next day or whenever they met again, it was more of a friend vibe. And she keeps saying, "I really hope that I feel that chemistry again."
I don't understand that. I'm really lost. Like, I don't understand her because she's like, I want him to feel vulnerable. I want him to feel. She's like really pushy about it.
She's saying
And
that
it's
that's
like-
what makes her attracted to him, and that only when he lets that out, she feels like that's what makes her like him.
Maybe she just wants to like be. She's being so aggressive so that he'll shed a tear, and then there's some vulnerability.
That's a bully,
maybe.
guys. That's a bully.
But she likes
It's
that
a
dominance.
relationship bully.
She does.
He is.
She
And
likes-
he's kind of a little bit of a passive guy.
I don't disagree with that. I
He's
agree.
a sweet guy that seems like you can kind of.
But
I
then
wonder though if
dominate
that's
him.
how he really is because
or
it
if it's
seems,
this dynamic.
It's this dynamic. He also there's cameras on him. He understands
Yeah.
the nature of the show.
And they're constantly putting him in positions where he feels like I can't open up because this is my ultimate fear, being buried alive. And now I have to fucking sing in
Yeah, she has no fears.
I have to sing in front of people.
Yeah.
And then she's just like, whatever.
But what about when? Okay, not to jump too ahead, but what about when he let down his vulnerability?
Yes.
He became vulnerable
Yeah.
and shared his,
Right.
thing about his brother. She kind of didn't take that. She's like, oh, okay. She didn't even like
I
dig
ag-
deeper into that.
There
She
has to be
didn't,
stuff we didn't
foster
see.
that or
Yeah.
like anything. So I
Totally.
thought this girl is not
Like she asked for the thing, and then he was like, "My brother committed suicide, and this is like this is what I've sort of been holding back from you." And she was like,
I wonder though if she didn't know what to say and it was just we didn't see a lot of the like long pauses, the emotion because
Right.
A, that's boring to watch that.
"I'm
Because
opening
we
my
have-
can of wine, everybody."
You do that,
Hear it?
and you. I've already been drinking mine. Well, guys, we're drinking Francis Coppola Pinot Grigio. So cheers
Drink
to
along with us.
love.
Cheers.
Cheers to us, and cheers to our guests.
And
who's
every
about to come
time, we say communication, drink.
on.
And
exactly.
don't drive.
No, just sit and watch.
Yeah.
Uber.
And
Uber.
if you haven't watched our previous episodes, catch up.
And last time we interviewed Kail, and he had a huge bottle of tequila, which might be telling for the future, but I just don't think so.
He didn't drink it.
No, he didn't. He was
Well,
drinking
because it was
wine.
for Lauren.
I know, but,
But
he
he,
was.
also didn't ship it to Lauren either.
I know he didn't, but he did say. But you guys, we
It's a
have a
lifetime
running
budget.
joke if you're just tuning in
Lifetime
that I am going to take multiple shots, and when I say multiple, I mean 3.
No, you said 4.
Four.
What you actually said, and it was on camera, so we can check the tape.
4 shots of tequila. Roll back the tape. 4 shots of tequila. If Jenna and Kail end up marrying each other, which we all know is an absolute joke. It's never gonna happen. I am not taking that. But anyway, Kail had the tequila in hand. And
I
we
wonder
were
if
like,
that was to throw us off.
It was
Yeah,
totally
to
to
tease
throw us.
us.
Or he's just a really good fan and he like wanted to engage. And
I mean,
love that about
maybe.
him.
But okay, so Mike and Alma, this is what I think about them, guys. I feel as though they are both of them are very open to making this work. And although it looks different for her than it does for him, I think their ultimate goal of wanting this to happen, I know Kail and Jenna say they want it to happen too, but like I feel like it's more attainable for them, that they do have this impending chemistry that's sort of like looming, and it's maybe a little harder for it to blossom, but it's on the verge and it's happening. And I feel like they're like a front runner. I don't think they're the first couple. I think they're close.
I think if she pulls back and like trusts the process more, maybe he'll open up more.
Jenna
It'll be more
or
natural.
Alma?
No, Alma. I'm talking about Alma and Mike.
Alma.
Yeah, Mike.
Oh, okay. I thought
Yeah,
you were talking about
yeah. I
Kail
don't
and
know
Jenna.
why.
I'm like, Kail and Jenna are the front runner?
I think actually Alma and
was
Mike
so
are the
confused.
most like, okay, we're going to trust this process. Of all the couples,
Really?
we're
Yeah,
going to have
I
to take
agree.
a vote. I feel like everything they say, they're like, okay, well, I want this to work. Or
Yes.
I want to open
I
up.
agree.
I want to tell her things. Like, there's something there where they not necessarily that they're committed to each other, but they seem very committed,
Committed
to
to
this
the
process.
process. Yes.
Which
Agreed.
I
It's
appreciate.
about the journey, not the destination.
Exactly. And it seems nice to watch like them subscribe to this whole thing and go with the flow.
Yes.
And the challenges. They're not like fighting it. Yes, they might not agree on everything and be the same person and they might
Right.
have different challenges.
Which I think could make them work well together.
I
Yeah.
agree.
And
I agree.
also, you guys, before we get into our next couple, which is Michael and Stephanie, who climb trees and collect medallions for their challenge, we have Stephanie calling in. Hey!
Hi.
Oh my
Hey,
God.
guys.
And you're wearing your singles shirt.
Woo!
I ran out of laundry as well.
Singles
so
in the
yeah.
city.
So are you currently single?
Oh, I don't think she can answer that.
Let's see your hands. Can we see your hands? For those listening, you probably
there an
can't see her.
engagement ring?
Oh, I see one hand. One hand.
First of all,
One
tell
hand.
all of our listeners and viewers what your Singles in the City is.
Yeah, my company hosts workshops that kind of, what do you call it, enforce smarter dating practices and kind of help singles become self-aware and date properly and, trying to get you healthy so that you can attract a healthy person. And forgive me, I don't know where I'm looking. Am I looking in the camera?
You're looking wherever you would like to. It doesn't, wherever you feel comfortable. Look directly into the camera or at your own beautiful face.
Yeah, I always just look at myself.
Same. I'm like, do I look cute? That's all that matters.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Okay, so we're like midway through at this point, and you and Michael are in this episode having to climb the trees and collect medallions. And like, you're like, I don't like this, and I am dangling from a rope in a tree, and this is not fun. Although you were pretty cute about it. Like, you were like, this is scary.
You were
Help.
like a damsel.
Yeah,
like,
it was good.
But it was cute and sassy and cute.
Yeah.
And cute.
Very, very scary, but I pressed on through. Thank God for Michael, and we made it out.
No,
Yes,
and he
that
was
was so cute.
And you have said up until this point, like there are certain things that you are looking for, and I really feel like he sort of stepped up in this challenge, if you will, and like helped you through. And I think he still kept his funny, jokey personality because like
Yeah.
I feel like that's him, but he did it in a way that wasn't like making you go, ugh, could you not? Because there was a couple of those times before.
Absolutely. I was like, and even we have our little Mike and Steph after show, and I'm like, you have not said anything sexual in months, like, but you're still fun. We still have fun together. So it was just a phase of probably getting to know each other. But now that we're good, we can
Now
just
that you're
be-
dating.
Now that you're dating.
Now that you're just so you know, he's coming on the show next week. So
I
Yeah.
know you told me. I'm like,
Oh, so we're still in
So
contact.
there's
And you're in love and
communication going on.
marriage.
Stephanie.
Where's that hand?
I'm quiet.
Turn it.
Okay.
They would make such a cute couple.
I
oh
mean,
my
yes.
goodness.
Wait, and you were like totally leaning in this time, and you were like into the fact that he revealed stuff about his spirituality, his religion, all of that. So tell us about the process of like learning about him and how that made you feel.
Yeah, it was truly a beautiful moment. I clearly remember that day because it was literally like the turn of our relationship of like, okay, I know you said he was a Christian, I'm a Christian, but I was like, we hadn't had that like spiritual connection. We hadn't talked about anything of that sort really. So just to have him open up, and I shared my journey with Christianity, which they didn't air, but it really like legit made us so much closer. So it was a legit moment for us, honestly.
Why did
was
it
good.
take so long to have that conversation? Like, what had you guys been talking about? We don't see what happens all the hours of the day. So at what point did you like bring that up? Why did it come up then?
It was so, I'm trying to remember what it was, but we talked about a couple of church things like here and there, but we hadn't gone into like, why are you a Christian, And number one, it was Sunday, and I think we were listening to like a Christian radio station, and then I was like, oh, let's talk about church, and then literally like the conversation just kind of opened up.
But you had planted the seeds for it before because we had even seen as the audience a couple of little sprinklings of this. So we all knew that it was like there and looming. And so it probably felt very good for you to actually get to go dive deeper into this conversation. Because I know I could tell just by watching, I'm like, this is really important to her. At least we knew that.
Yeah, and it did feel good, and I didn't want to, in previous relationships, I've been like, I'm Christian and give them the list. So this time I'm like, hey, I said I was Christian. He said he's Christian. I'm going to see what he does. And that's how that happens. It was an organic, really great day. And that's how we ended up great. So
I think what I like about watching you guys is, listen, we know we're all watching people on a show that the ultimate goal is to meet somebody. You're all there for the same reason, if you will. But some of it feels like it might be like, okay, we're here to do this thing, so let's check the things off the list. But I still, and you've got cameras on you, and it is probably not natural at all. But I feel like what I like about you and Michael is that you're letting it in the way that it can, in the bubble that you're in, unfold organically without any pressure, without like a checklist of like, it's supposed to happen like this, or like on this date we go to the fantasy suite like The Bachelor. It's like all of a sudden everyone's like, I love you on the same episode every season. You know what I mean? You're like, but with you guys, I feel like you're just letting it happen. If you don't feel it in the moment, you're like, could you not? And then if you do, you do.
Absolutely. And even in the beginning, like the past 3 episodes, I've been like, because, you know, we're all cool now. And it's like, I'm sorry I said I hated you for 3 weeks. You know what I mean? So it was a natural process and evolution of where we are today. So I'm proud of where we come from. You know what I mean? It's unconventional, and it wasn't some picture perfect. They're a great couple. Like, we were legit trying to just figure things out. And it's just wonderful to watch the whole thing unfold, honestly.
Are you surprised by what you're seeing with the other couples? Like, you weren't really seeing them through the process, were you?
No, I wasn't. We didn't see any of them. I'm not really shocked. I think everything's going according to reality TV schedule, I would think. You know what I mean? I figure me and
Stephanie and Ryan, are you like, what the is going on?
What's happening?
With Stephanie and Ryan, were you like surprised at all to see how like quickly things were going?
Not really. It's you know what I mean? Like,
You just feel like that's them.
Yeah, I'm in this like dating and singles and the decisions. I'm like, oh, okay. It's interesting to see someone not do it, you know, but to do it, it's like, okay.
Oh, okay.
Can you walk us through the process? So, like, obviously, you have your company, Singles in the City, and you know what you know, and you are you. Why did you sign up for the show? And, you know, what did you think going into it?
I signed up for the show. Honestly, I didn't think it was a legit thing. Casting hit me up on social media, and
Oh, really?
yeah, you know, the super simple. Well, they figure I have the keys to the single people in like 5 states, which I kind of do. So I looked at the application.
Which 5 states?
I'm in. I'm in Dallas, Austin, Chicago, LA, and Detroit. Yeah, Jesus,
Those are
5.
Wow, there we go.
Yeah, but so they hit me up. I looked at it myself, and I'm like, this isn't real. I've never heard of this before. It's super, you know, applications are super simple. Fill it out. Didn't hear back forever. Took forever for this process to even happen. When casting called me back to go to LA, I was like, oh, I guess this is a real thing happening. Again, they took.
And you're not
forever.
going to say no to the opportunity, right? You're just like, okay, whatever.
I was going to. I wasn't the first to jump on it because I have a business and I have other things going on and stuff I'm working with. So I was just like, it needed to be the right opportunity, personally and professionally for me. And luckily, it worked out to where I could even do it. So it was good. Best decision ever for sure.
Okay.
Oh, because you're engaged?
Oh my God.
Sorry.
As well.
Blushing.
I know, just trying to throw you off.
So what did you learn about yourself through this whole process?
Yeah, I learned that I am extremely resilient. I'm extremely flexible. I know I've been, you know, running my own life and running a company forever, and just to go on a show with a complete stranger, be filmed, reality TV, and to have just persevered through and like made so many new friends and connections, being myself and also opening up. I was like, this is a win for the Stephanie Johnson book. Like, you can do anything. Like, you can literally do anything. So
honestly, that's a brave thing you did.
Thank you.
I think. I mean, talk about like each show has its own little thing. Like this one was communication. There's like vulnerability and fears and things like that. But like it's TV, but you're really having to go through it.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even
America.
I don't even want to go on a second date with most people, let alone travel with them for 30 days. So, like, I actually do think when you say perseverance, like, I don't know if that's very telling, but
Maybe.
Stephanie Johnson.
We're like not letting you get away with anything.
no. So, is Singles in the City now engaged in the city?
Well, actually, we have my other company's Married in the City. So we go to Married in the City.
Smart
and
Stephanie.
all over Married in the City, and they're doing quite well as well.
Monopolizing the
I
market.
like that you're
So
like,
sweet.
it's not just singles, it's married people too. All of the people.
They're in the city.
That's the goal. You have to get them from singles to married. So was there ever a point during the process where you kind of doubted it, where you're like, okay, I think they put me with this guy for reality TV ratings or to make good TV, and did you doubt the actual matchmaking?
I think initially, I know it sounds super cheesy. When I met Michael, not even like, oh, he's hot. Yes, he's hot. But when I met him,
Yes,
and we
he
had
is.
our first conversation, I was like, he's a dope guy. Like, I can be friends with him. And that's all I cared about. if anything were to come from that, I was going to be super happy. But as far as the matchmaker matching me with someone that I could definitely have a lifelong something with, she was spot on. You know what I mean? We have to work through life because we're different people, but it was a really good match.
I like that. And we're along with you in this journey, and we've all been through it in our own accounts, not with cameras in this specific situation, but we get it. Like, you meet somebody, and most of the time you can kind of tell right away, like, I don't think I'm gonna like this guy or whatever, right? And so we're trying to read as the audience, like, do they have chemistry? Because right off the bat, and this can be cultivated, and it depending on how open you are, your chemistry can surface a little later, or it can be a little slower process. It's not totally indicative if it's going to work out or not if you don't feel sparks like right away, but we're all trying to see as the audience, like, do they have chemistry right away? So you could say, like, right away you felt, whether it was going to turn into friends or not, you felt chemistry with Michael right away.
As a person, I was like, I could definitely kick it with him, like, for sure. Like,
Good.
Yeah.
Well, you guys are funny together, and you have like a very like comfortable like repertoire, like in the car, and like you guys are like sassy at each other, and I feel like you listen. Watching it, it seems like you complement each other well, whether or not like you're giving him shit just to see how he can handle it. Sorry.
We're
not supposed to swear, but we can't help
Right,
ourselves.
but also then he's like that good guy that like is like, what, I got you, and like smiles, and you're like, oh, everything's fine because he smiled and he's got that.
He's
those
so
dimples and stuff.
cute. I like
But
die
like
over him.
cute where you want to like pinch his cheeks and be like,
Ooh,
what?
no, I'm not talking about that kind of
I'm
cute.
starting at pinching his cheeks. I didn't
Which
go-
cheeks?
Like you can't be
Top or lower?
I didn't say which cheeks, guys. It's a gateway drug.
Excuse
really.
me, we could be talking about her fiance right now.
I know. We need to
Or
put
my-
some respect.
or-
I'm just kidding.
Or her husband. Oh.
What? What? Okay, wait. Also, since we're talking right now about this husband thing, how many episodes are in this season?
Yeah, how many?
We're halfway through. We've got 4
Okay.
more to go.
So we
Oh,
don't see a
Prediction
wedding at
came
the end.
true.
Prediction, wow.
Prediction came
Yeah,
true.
way to go, Zach. In it. We don't see a wedding at the end. Do we see an engagement? Who gets married?
I know what happens at the
Can you
end.
give us any teaser spoilers?
These are spoilers. Michael saves the day. People have rings and dresses, and
People.
So more than 2?
4.
possibly.
What?
Oh my god.
But
You guys-
does everyone end up together, or do some people be like, I don't want that?
The answer is wait till May 8th. That's
Damn
the
you.
answer.
May 8th.
Till
Listen,
May 8th.
Stephanie, I have a bet going on with this panel and our listeners and viewers that if Jenna and Kail end up together, I have to take 4 shots of tequila
4.
live on
4.
air.
And get an Uber home because she's a little
laughing.
dangerous.
Wait, and Kail came on the show last week and had a bottle of tequila, and he said it was for Lauren. So
No,
math.
Stephanie, there is 0 chance in the freaking universe that I am going to have to take shots of tequila.
Or-
back me up.
Wait, maybe we should have something if if like Stephanie and Michael get
It's
engaged.
Stephanie and Michael get engaged.
Then we
I
get
am not
champagne.
betting on that.
We all get
Champagne.
champagne because we want that.
You guys are my favorite couple.
Yeah.
So,
So cute together.
Favorite couple alert.
You guys.
Hashtag favorite couple.
and he's calling in next week. So
Or
he's
might be
gonna
coming in?
might be coming into the studio.
I'm
so
curious.
okay, so
Oh.
before
Wait,
Will Stephanie be joining him?
Here's the thing. Before Michael comes in next week, are there any things you want to tell us before he
Yes,
tells us?
yes,
Like
beat
maybe
him to the
your
punch.
opinion.
Michael's not going to talk. So about things.
Oh, so you still have him wrapped around your finger.
Because they're married. Stephanie's pregnant. I just spread the rumor.
There's a bun in the oven.
That's why we don't see her tummy.
Michael, you try to tickle him and have him spill the beans. He won't say a word.
no, but like,
Wait,
is
so
there
you
anything?
trust him? You trust him like a husband.
Is there anything that he might, just in general, not that he's going to spoil or tease or anything, but is there anything that you might predict that he might say or talk about that you want to like
Clarify.
preemptively clarify?
Like if we were playing the Newlyweds couple right now, the
Yeah.
Newlyweds game show, and he was going to say something, what would it be?
Oh my God, I've never played that. Wait, do you say like a fact about each other or something?
I don't
Sure.
even know.
Something
Like,
maybe other people don't know about them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or you predict he's going to say about both of you.
How would he describe you? How would he describe you?
Oh my gosh, I'm strong, independent, beautiful, and I know exactly what I'm always talking about. Usually,
That's what he's going to say. So we are going to ask him when he comes on next week to describe you, and we're going to see how accurate you are, and I think you probably are.
Yeah.
Or you're going to call him and tell him.
And then you're going to call him after and be like, "What did you just say?"
Or he's gonna watch this.
I go, really? Is that how you feel?
Oh,
Is he there?
I feel like he might be. Okay, before we let you go, thank you so much for calling in.
so much.
You should play poker.
First of all, where are you calling from? We didn't even ask you that.
Michael's room.
Michael's apartment.
Yeah, I'm calling from the South.
Okay.
I'm in Dallas.
Okay, you're in Dallas. Okay, great. Thank you so much for calling in. And remind everyone where they can find you and follow you and
your companies.
and your companies. Yeah.
You can find me at singlesandthecity.com
Yes.
or online. Everything is So Stephanie. That's STEF as in Frank, ANIE. So
Great.
So Stephanie.
Okay,
Or
great. Stephanie, thank you so much. We loved speaking with you. We are going to speak with your counterpart next week, and we will compare notes.
We will. And we will drink champagne at the end.
Yes.
Together.
Oh my God.
Thank
Popping
you.
bottles.
Bye.
Bye, Stephanie.
Bye.
Oh my God, I love her.
I hear wedding bells.
You guys,
I want to marry her myself.
I honestly
I love. She's
you
our
guys,
friend, guys.
She's gorgeous and
So pretty.
Also, I feel like her and Michael, I love them. I'm gonna say I get a vibe that nothing has happened, that they're friends.
Yeah.
And that's cool, but I feel like it was a successful match for them just as like life partners, just not lovers.
Yeah.
I hate that
Why
word.
do you think so?
I just don't get that vibe from her right now that they ended up together. I just don't. I don't think, and I think they're awesome together, and I think they probably tried, and I just don't think that
So
they did.
did you get that vibe from Kail that maybe him and Jenna?
Hell
No.
Listen,
No.
there is zero vibe at all happening from any
Gotta
of those two. Okay.
I'm going to say something different.
What?
I actually think, maybe we save it for predictions. You tell me. No?
Save it for predictions because we're gonna wrap
Save
up
it.
Stephanie and Michael really quick because we talked to her for so long because we could not help ourselves. So they
Love
climbed
her.
in the trees. She was scared. He got all the medallions.
What's a
He-
medallion?
Just a stupid
A
coin.
medal.
Like a coin, like a little gold coin.
Is it money?
Like a,
Jen, it was just a prop for the point.
Is it money?
it was bought at Party City. I mean,
It's
this
like a
was probably
Bitcoin.
like we
It was a
ran out of
Bitcoin.
budget
It's
and
a-
we needed to.
It was a Bitcoin.
It was a
chocolate
Bitcoin.
one.
Well, if it's a Bitcoin, then sign me up.
It was a chocolate coin you get on
Like-
Hanukkah.
Oh,
Hanukkah.
Now I relate.
That's what it was.
Perfect.
See, I had to
Money.
know your audience. So he collected them all, but then he kind of made her get the last one because he wanted them to like work as a pair, and they did. And the Stephanie and Michael show they had the moment.
Wait, but also he even said to her, like, you gotta let go and you gotta trust me. Like, enough.
That was cute.
Yeah, he called her out and like she didn't really say anything bad.
And then they
She
go
needed
and
that.
they have
Yeah.
like the follow-up date. They have high tea, and she sort of like lets him into her like, I really like doing this, and they had like for a fun banter. And I think we can really see that there's something that's going to happen, and maybe it doesn't end up that way, but I feel like something's going to happen with them.
I just thought it was really cute that he was like not into high tea, but he like is
Did it
open
for
to
her. Did it
Did it
everything.
for her.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's just such a good guy.
He's so cute.
Listen, obviously we're on his bandwagon, but like he's really a good guy.
Well,
nice.
wait till he comes in next week.
He's nice.
You're like, hello.
I wouldn't say he's my favorite, but he's
Why?
nice.
Zach. All of us
It's the
just
first time I've seen all three of you be that quiet. No, I think he's nice. I think they have a friend vibe.
Yeah.
Like I think they have cute chemistry.
Yes.
I don't think it's lover chemistry.
Right.
I don't think it's a sexy chemistry. I think it's like, fun vibe.
like
What
friends
if it
joking
changes
around.
and all of a sudden Vivica got her groove back, or
Oh
some
my God,
lady
it's
got her
Stella, but
Stella.
the
Stella.
actress was
I was like, Vivica Fox? Am I?
Groove? She's not in that movie.
wasn't that the actress though? I think it was Vivica.
Maybe.
Yeah,
No,
she
it
was.
wasn't.
See,
No,
Vivica
it wasn't.
played Stella.
It was,
no,
who
it
was
was
it?
plays Tina Turner.
Steven. Who
It
was, it?
her name.
Steven. Who
It's
was in
amazing.
Stella Got Her Groove Back?
Oh my
It was
gosh.
Vivica A. Fox.
Whoopi.
I'll look it
No,
up.
Not fucking Whoopi. Are you sorry?
Let's get back on topic.
Okay,
Yes.
brother.
So anyway,
Anyway.
you guys, now Stephanie and Ryan, who we're going to get to really quick, they had to catch and medicate alligators.
Angela
like,
Bassett.
I didn't like that.
Angela Bassett, maybe, yes.
Yes.
And also, so they had to go. She was deathly afraid
was
again for the 700th time. This is my worst fear ever, which is so specific.
That was terrifying.
At first, when he started catching the alligators, it's like, they're tiny. Who cares? And then they had to wrestle the big one. And he put his fingers in the mouth of the thing, and she had to get on the tail and put the ointment on the. And that's a gross word.
But, ointment is gross and very clinical, but also there are people around. They're helping you. It's not like he was just going in blind and like he's Steve Irwin. Like this was like a whole thing
Yeah.
set up for safety. Like, do you really think Lifetime is going to want a lawsuit on this
know.
alligator biting your
Well,
body.
but his fingers were very close to this alligator's teeth.
I wouldn't tackle an alligator.
I would if I was
me.
going to
I
get
would.
in love and a
I
hotel
would.
suite.
I would tackle an alligator because I'd be like, it's gonna be fine. What
Right.
are the
Well,
chances?
I mean, she just had to like rub some ointment on it. Like he was doing the hard work.
Totally.
Exactly, which is nice.
They're like,
want
just
the tail.
jump on the tail. And she's like, no, I can't. I'm like, it's the tail. He's literally on top of the alligator. It's fine. You're good.
And also, she was like, "Ew, he's touching the alligator." So I was like, "Honey, what?" She was grossed out by
I know.
not touching
She
the
wanted
alligator.
him to wash his hands, and it's like, really? The
like,
alligator
okay,
doesn't have
feel-
salmonella.
She's
Like,
pretty
I mean,
hard on
but
him.
like, think about that's kind of hot
she-
though. Like he's like wrestling
Yes.
an alligator, and he's like, I got this. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, 'cause
like
he
that
can
would have
protect you
turned
from
like that
harm.
did turn me on. But it
you were
wasn't
into
doing
it?
it. I was into it. That was the
so
only
is
time
he
I was
your
really
favorite?
He's up there now.
Really?
Like I want him to tackle me the way he tackled the alligator.
Do you want to do
you need
his
ointment?
hair?
To do it.
Do you want to do his hair like she wants to do his hair? She constantly wants to do his hair. Would
I
you
think she
let
wants
him?
to
I feel
change
like
him.
you.
Yeah.
I feel like you do not let anybody else touch your hair. Would you let him touch your hair?
Maybe.
Oh,
But he doesn't do a good job
Maybe.
with his own hair, a little in your hair.
Well, I'm just saying. Would you
I
let
mean,
him?
it depends on what he's doing with my hair. Like, there's a little tugging, like
And some
that's
ointment,
fine.
and some
No
ointment.
no ointment. The ointment, like, that's instant boner kill. Like, that's not happening. It's gross. I'm like, ointment, get out. Bye.
Got it.
Sounds like problems.
Sounds like
Ugh.
problem. Okay, so they win their challenge, and then they.
Okay, winning and losing
And
on
then-
this show
I know.
is just
They
subjective.
all-
Confusing. I'm like,
It's so confusing because they all get sweets.
They all get the fantasy.
They want
suite.
sex.
And then they go and have this like secondhand date where they go eat steak, and then she gets all
or alligator.
or
Or
yeah,
Alligator.
testicles that belong to an
Oh,
animal.
yeah.
Yeah,
Testicles.
Which animal?
that too. Bull.
Bull testicles.
See, I would be more resistant to eating bull testicles than I would be to getting on an alligator's
Totally.
tail.
Because it's your mouth
Yeah.
and your digestive system.
Yeah,
and icky.
in your body and the things. And so they have this dinner and they have this talk again about like why he has this problem with her not being honest in the moment, and she's like, but I'm trying. It's like I see both sides. He's like, I'm just telling you what I would do and wouldn't do, and she's like, but I'm trying to get to know the situation in order to tell you what I would do. I can't tell you if I want to move somewhere if I don't know if I've ever been there, or I can't tell you if I like this thing if I don't know that I like it or don't. Like, I'm a little weirded out that you're 26 and I'm almost 30. Like, that's my experience. And he's like, they're both right in a
Right.
way, but like they both kind of need to let each other be right. But they do, I think it's a little bit of a problem that they can have these deep conversations and we're fine now. I'm like, what are you sweeping under the rug? Like, this is going to
I
keep
think it's the
resurfacing.
physical chemistry. Like they're like, oh, okay.
It's overtaking it.
Yes.
That's,
I
yep.
actually disagree. I actually think it's kind of nice. And while, yes,
Mm-hmm.
Ryan says it and he acknowledges that, I actually think it's nice because in life you're going to go through all kinds of things and you're
Yeah.
going to have
Don't
to have
dwell.
right, like
Yeah.
and you should have sort of like a lightness about just general things, otherwise everything is hard.
True.
And everything is drama.
True.
So the fact that they can turn it off, I actually think is like, okay, that could have longevity because they could come back to it and then they could proceed. Like, let's just say you have kids in the picture, and I'm just going there. Maybe one of these days this couple will have kids. You might have a fight and then the kids come around. You have to stop fighting.
You have to stop fighting. But also, I think, yes, I think
Or
you're
you
right.
can make them pick sides.
Right. And that's super healthy. And then you can have lawyers and divorce.
And also, good point. You're like, babe,
Divorce at first
Bye,
fight.
Felicia.
daughter,
Divorce at
daughter,
first-
who do you like?
Spin-off.
Daughter,
Spin-off.
who do you like better, mommy or daddy? Tell us now.
Well, obviously the one with better hair.
Obviously.
Which one is that?
It
It's hard to
depends,
choose
but
in this
listen, if
couple.
she's doing his hair, then she's responsible for the hair, and then it's like, who's responsible for the hair?
Oh,
She
she's
is.
got good hair. And she's got good eyeliner.
Oh,
Eyeliner. I
I
didn't
don't
notice
like her
eyeliner.
eyeliner. She does her cat wing thing. I'm not into it.
I like it. It's very retro. Like she's
She's
singer,
very cute,
so.
And not retro, dated.
Okay.
Old. Done.
I agree.
All right.
That
But
trend
I
has
also,
passed.
she is very cute though. Like she's
very
super
cute.
cute.
She's super
Very
cute.
cute.
They're all cute. But yeah, they are able to turn the conversation, and I think that could be a good thing. I just think everyone out there beware. If it's a deeper moral issue, don't turn the conversation. Like it's
Yeah.
gonna keep resurfacing itself. So
Yes.
figure it out. But yes, if it's a lighter thing, then you're able
I
to
think
move
I
on.
this
wonder if they bring it up later though, and we just don't
I'm
see
sure
it.
they
I
do.
think they do.
Listen, in this one episode, they have had 2 conversations where it's a deep conversation that I feel is kind of a deep issue, and they keep going, okay, bye. So no.
And I think she thinks she's like focusing on age, but I think Ryan's more mature than her. Especially when he was talking to her, because she started snoring, like fake snoring, when he was trying to say something. And I'm like, that's kind of
feel
mature.
like
and she wants to brush it under.
He comes off a little more mature than a 26-year-old dude that I've in my past can relate to. But yes, I agree. I feel like he seems very mature, and she's very youthful and bubbly, so she ends on the more immature scale. And I feel maybe they're on the same level, and that could be good.
They meet in the middle.
And Jenna and Kail, before we wrap up, they have the making a love totem with a chainsaw challenge.
So stupid.
First of all, so stupid. But
So
poor Kail.
stupid.
Kail is like shut off. He's like held
out.
to the
Blame
no.
him.
He's like, I don't even know what to say anymore, because I feel like if I open my mouth, it's like I'm screwed. And he's not wrong for feeling that way.
And how awkward would that be? You're stuck with this person.
And she's like, I feel like he wants to say something, but he's not. Yeah, no crap. He wants to say something, but he's like, I'm scared to open my mouth.
I just wonder, are they stuck together, or
Yes,
can
they are
leave
stuck together.
They're
for
stuck
30
together.
days?
So
Like,
they
you
have
can't
to go
leave.
For
home.
8
Like, you have to-
episodes.
You guys, 4 more left.
Yeah, they
Zach.
have 4 more left to go.
Thank you,
math.
mathematician Zach. Zach Attack just told us 4 more. So, okay. But
They have to saw and burn into this thing.
And I also feel like it's not even just you have to, but I feel like at that point, halfway through, like you're like, okay, there has to be something. There's a matchmaker. There is some formula that brought us to this point that's supposed to take me all the way to the end. You know, like you have to just roll the dice.
Is it just going to fail the whole time?
That is what's happening, Stacey. So I feel like they are both trusting the process like everyone else is, but they're screwed because they are not compatible. And so they keep clinging on to this, like, we're here and we're trusting the process. And they're both open to it in their own ways. Whatever that looks like for him and her is
by
totally
the way,
different.
I think we have to give credit to Jenna, because she does seem more now like she wants to engage, and like she's not hating it. And she seems like, okay, I'm more open. It's like it almost seems like she likes him.
Okay,
or
but
something.
I think this is why. I think this is why. When you have a dynamic and somebody is like one way and you're one way, and then they turn that off, you compensate. So she's like, why is he not talking? Why is he not doing? So she's trying to come in
like
there.
a game, like a challenge almost.
Well, no, I
Like
just
the
think
bait and
she's
switch.
Yeah, kind of. I think she just
Or a date and
I think
switch.
that's just a natural psychological thing where
Yeah.
you're like, why are you not? What's going on? Like what? And I think because I think they both want it to work, they're both trying in their own way, whatever that looks like in whatever given moment. When someone shuts down, someone else comes in. And I think that they just kind of flipped a little.
Yeah. Well, especially when you're on camera. Like, there's a cognizance that I think most people don't realize until you're actually on camera that, like, when you're with somebody else, like, you don't want that dead time. So if he's coming back, she's blowing air into the balloon.
Totally. I agree. I think she just feels like she needs to do or say something, and I totally get that. Even just on a date, you feel like that. Like someone's not talking. You're like, what's your favorite color?
You're trying a lot harder.
You're trying. Yeah. So anyway, okay. So I feel very bad for them, and I just feel like it's not going to be good. But we are going to really quickly, before we wrap, talk about our cutest couple. I feel like it's Stephanie and Michael.
I feel like it's Alma and Mike.
They were my second choice. Alma and Mike.
I feel like it's Stephanie and Michael. I can see the chemistry growing.
Yeah.
I like Stephanie and Michael. I like the Stephanie and Michael show. I think we definitely saw a lot more chemistry, but I'm just loyal to Mike and Alma.
Yeah.
Yes,
I mean,
2
listen,
and 2,
I love
guys.
them.
feel like
I
those
love
are
Mike
two.
and
Yeah,
Alma.
we're split choice.
That's my end game goal.
Battle.
Disaster date, it's the obvious choice, but I cannot go astray. It is Jenna and Kail. Like, I just feel bad for them.
Do they keep putting them on therapeutic like dates
I
because
think
it's
they
so
do.
painful
Although
to
that
watch?
Himalayan salt cave was awesome. I'm like,
Yeah.
I want to be on that. And she's like, are you relaxed, Kail? He's like, mm-hmm. He was like shaking. I was like, no, he is not. He does not like any of this.
I actually think he likes the dates, but I think he doesn't like her.
Her.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
she is ruining the vibe
And
for him.
Well, also, okay, there is such thing as over communicating, and while we are on the subject of communication, I think that that she is probing him in a way that's not romantic because she's asking him about the thing itself versus like about him as a person.
Well,
it doesn't feel very romantic.
Well,
it feels
I think
more like
now-
she's pushing him.
Yes, well, I think they're also trying to figure out why the hell is this going the way it is. So now they're overanalyzing the thing, and it's distracting from letting it organically happen, which I
Enjoying
think is
each
why Stephanie and Michael work so well, because they're sort of letting it organically happen in their own way. It's like working for them. Yeah. So disaster date, Jenna and Kail. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Jenna and Kail.
Hands down. Yeah.
Jenna and Kail.
Okay,
Unanimous.
and who would you date still? Because mine's still Michael. Thank God he's coming on the show next week.
Oh, sorry. Michael,
Michael,
still, obviously.
Stephanie, and Michael.
Yeah, that Michael.
Yeah.
Not Mike. Michael.
Mike is Mike and Alma. Yeah.
But Michael.
It's
just his smile, and
He's
I
just
feel
so
like
dang cute.
He could say those annoying things, and I think it's more just like a victim of circumstance to try and like open her up and like make
I'd
her
be
laugh.
into it.
Open her up.
I'd be like, yeah, stuff my sausage.
Okay, you would. But,
Oh wait, that's not what I meant.
No,
You know what I mean.
That was weird. But so I think he's just he seems like such a genuine guy in the religious aspect, and the fact that he's a hard worker, and the fact that he's patient, and then he's kind, and he's nice, and he's easygoing with this whole process. It's like, and he smiles. She actually says he's like super positive. So it's like, what can this guy not do?
I like him. I would date him.
He goes and gets all the gelt from the tree.
I would choose Michael from Michael and Alma because
Mike. Yeah,
Mike.
His eyebrows.
He's just sweet. I love sweet guys. He seems like a sweetheart. Like he's super nice. So
He'd be my runner-up. Zach.
Mike, Ryan, Michael, and
Then
Kail doesn't
Kail.
even make the list.
why?
He's
Kail's
nice.
so
He's
nice.
nice.
not your jam.
Just not my jam.
I get it.
like a salad.
He's
Yeah, but he's like a Caesar salad that's like boring. Not gonna order that.
He's a Caesar salad
I
made
love
of
Caesar
kale.
salad.
Where you're like, you're made of kale.
No,
I want
yeah,
actually,
there you
it's
go.
good.
We love
Listen,
Kail.
You guys need to get a
I-
recipe or something because it's good. Caesar
But
and
yeah,
kale.
I vote Michael. I just want to like do something with his eyebrows, and then it's like perfection.
Okay,
Microblade him?
Listen, you can. I think he needs microblading. I do. I think.
Or
I
maybe
think so.
Alma would help him. I don't know. We don't know
like
yet.
she's into beauty and
she's
fashion and
holding,
stuff.
but
You
she's
guys-
holding out because Stephanie is like all about Ryan's hair.
Beauty
Alma's
and
not.
fashion, but I hated the black lipstick on
The
her.
black lipstick was not
Patricia
good.
Adams.
No
No.
one's gonna kiss
Hello.
black lips.
No.
I was
What
like,
is she
honey,
thinking?
no, don't do that. I agree. Okay, so
Honey.
next, honey. Okay, so they go to Vegas next week. I am
Sin
predicting
City.
that Alma and Mike do
Make
more
sex.
sex.
Yeah.
Do more sex, yeah.
I can't wait to see the strip show, the Ryan and
Oh, he
Stephanie
gets all
strip
mad.
show,
They're
and how he
not
gets
gonna work
pissed.
out,
It's like,
guys. They're
you're
not
right,
gonna work
calm
out.
down.
It's not
the
going to
days
be
Gonna
are
burn
good.
out quick, yeah.
They
Yeah.
go to Vegas next week. We are really excited, and we are going to do a post-game wrap-up for episode 5 next week. So don't forget to tune in and listen and watch. And you can find me at Lauren Leonelli on all the social medias. Jen?
You can find me at Jenifer Golden on all the social media.
And you can find me at Stacey Olivas all over social media.
And you can follow me at Just Plain Zach.
Oh, just plain, but that's
Just
confusing.
Plain
Just,
Zach. No,
just
3
plain
words.
Zach.
3 words in 1 word. JUSTPLAIN.
Oh.
ZACK. Just Plain
Okay,
Zach.
yes. All right, you guys. Thank you so much. We will be back next week for our Love at First Bite after show.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Keven Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz
See you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.